Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we're going to be talking about what the hell just happened at the X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023. Uh, Full spoilers. I will be going over all the details. There's about 8 points that I have on my notes of like big things that happened in this issue. This is a 76-page issue written by Gerry Duggan with a plethora of artists that all really bring their A game into this issue. We have another video talking about just like the preview for it. If you don't want spoilers, but you want to know what you're getting into, you can go check out that video. I'll try to link it in the description as well. But you've been warned, so we're going to get into spoilers. The first thing, immediately right off the bat, Kamala Khan coming back to life after her passing in the Amazing Spider-Man series, which I've talked about. I was not very happy about that. It's weird that she died in that series that has nothing to do with her. I mean, I don't. Peter and Kamala don't have the type of relationship where I think it would be the most impactful thing, right? Knowing that there's even another Spider-Man out there that has a closer relationship to Kamala, but that's neither here nor there. So Kamala's back, and as we all kind of guessed and the internet speculated, she's being revealed. She's revealed to be a mutant, one whose mutation has not activated, or at least had not activated before the Terrigen mist. So she's both an Inhuman and a mutant. And after this, she will be spinning off into a new series. So I think that's really interesting. I love the conversations that she has. I think it's there's even a little preamble that where Emma Frost and Scott are talking about like should they tell her, because Scott somehow remembers his time as a teenager in the Champions. It's very convoluted. Don't worry about it. But Scott and Kamala do have a relationship, along with some other mutants like Wolverine. Like he was kind of a mentor figure to her from the beginning. Wolverine loves to train everyone. So okay, next thing, we have the introduction of Wynn and Dimitri, who seem to be working for the old gods. What does this have to do with anything? Well, Marvel announced a new series called Gods, like GODS, like it's an acronym. And these two characters will be part of that. We don't know much about Wynn or Dimitri, other than they represent the gods, whatever that they represent the old gods. Because at one of the Hellfire Galas, the mutants proclaim themselves to be maybe new gods. So that'll be really interesting to suss out in the future. But that was something that, if you want their first appearance, if you're a collector and a speculator market, and you want Wynn and Dimitri's first appearance, you want to get this issue, unless they were in some other thing. But I believe this is their first appearance. All right, next, the announcement of a new X-Men roster. Every Hellfire Gala, the mutants vote on a new on a new roster for the main X-Men team. Here is the new X-Men team. We have Talon, who is the Vault version of Laura Kinney. So it's not the Wolverine Laura Kinney. She is Talon. We also have Sync, who is Talon's partner, Prodigy, Cannonball, Frenzy, Dazzler, Jubilee, and last but not least, the Juggernaut, who's not really a mutant, but somehow he's an X-Men. So that's interesting. Now, this leads us right onto our next point, that this reveal of the New Mutants was, first of all, I was very happy because I love Dazzler, I love Jubilee, I love Cannonball, I love that they were part of the new team. But this all was very short-lived because of the Orcus attack that happened during the Hellfire Gala. That's right. Orcus, the evil organization that includes people like Nimrod, Dr. Stasis, Karina Shapandar, MODOK, and of course Moira McTaggart. They attacked, they ambushed, they had been plotting. Everything that's been going on in the X-Men book has been leading up to this attack. And here's some of the things that they did. Not only did they, like, Nimrod came in and squished most of the new X-Men team that I just mentioned, which included a lot of mutants died in this. A lot of mutants died in here. So they appear to have killed Iceman. Nimrod gave him some kind of I don't know, some pill or some shot or whatever, some chemical. They also altered all the drugs that the X-Men had been given out to humans to improve their lives, to hold them hostage. Moira steps in and has killed Jean Grey, who also will have some kind of spin-off series. Iceman will as well, so I'm sure we'll learn more about all that in the future. And then it appears that Xavier was forced, because they were holding all the humans hostage, to make all the mutants leave through the gates. But we don't know where the gates lead. We don't know if the mutants are even alive. Xavier at this point feels like he has maybe forced all the mutants that he made go through the gates telepathically to maybe have been dead. So Orcus was not holding back on the bullshit that they brought to this party. Um, yeah, they are like the worst party crashers. Next up, Firestar, who has been in the X-Men roster as of recently, has been embedded into Orcus as a double agent. That was Jean's last act. She made sure to build memories in Doctor Stasis as to make him believe, and therefore make everyone else believe, that Firestar had always been a double agent. Nobody else knows about this. Not sure how this is going to play out. But I mean, Jean is a very smart. They took out the Omega level mutants from the get go, so that's why Iceman and Jean were some of the main targets. But Jean's very smart. Jean has gone through a lot of stuff, so she wouldn't do something like this without her having a big plan. So yeah, Firestar and her had a conversation about all this. And we see some of those memories that are embedded in Dr. Stasis. So that'll be interesting to follow along. I'm glad Firestar, no pun intended, is getting her time to shine. So we also know that some of the X-Men are still scattered around all over the place, including Wolverine, who's he's somewhere else getting ambushed. Cyclops. We also know Nightcrawler was somewhere else because he had left. And then we have a small contingency led by Emma Frost and Kate Pryde, who were able to escape somewhere else, but we don't know what's going to happen with them. So the next thing that happened, one of the bigger things here that will also spin off into another book, Rogue saves Professor X from being killed by Orcus, specifically by Moira. And before she drops him off and lets him know that Captain America is reuniting the Unity Squad from back in the day, from the Marvel Now era. So we'll have an Avengers and X-Men new group, which will spin off into a new book. They're bringing the band back together. So those are the main things that happen within the main issue. We get a little bit of a preview of the book that Kamala Khan will be a part of. But we do have a post credits in this comic book. We have a couple of pages that show us that whatever they've done to the Krakoan gates, Kate Pryde can now use the Krakoan gates, because she is leaning up against one, slides right in, and falls in the middle of a bunch of Orcus bad guys just waiting. I mean, they weren't waiting for her, but she's in the middle. So we'll see how that plays out. Very interesting that it looks like all the mutants can't use the gates now, but somehow Kate Pryde can. So this was a bonkers issue. I don't normally agree that paying $8 for a comic is getting your money's worth, but in this case, I think Marvel really knocked it out of the park. They nailed it. So we're gonna discuss more about, first of all, what books you should go read in the future. That'll be a separate video. And then on our next live stream, we're planning to dive into detail about all the implications of all these events in this whole what the fuck just happened during the X-Men Gala. So during the Hellfire Gala. So let me know if I missed anything big down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite moment was, or let me know what the moment was that really blew your mind. This was I almost wish I had recorded a reaction of me reading this comic because it was a frenzy of a book. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.